Hello everyone, Katie here with a super exciting announcement video, whatever, what have you. The Sea of Stars demo officially launched today. Well, okay, technically yesterday. I'm recording this very late at night, but because I've been playing it so much, right? Yeah, it's out. For those who do not know, once again, Sea of Stars is a brand new RPG game being released by Sabotage Studios, who made The Messenger. I've been making a couple videos covering it because I am incredibly excited about this game. It's sort of an ode to games like Chrono Trigger, which obviously has me really hyped. I thought, looking at like the details, the passion behind it, everything I've seen from the game, I thought this looks incredibly promising. This looks like it could really be like the real deal, you know. It looks like it has so much heart behind it. And so I backed it like crazy. Like I've never backed a game before because I really believe in this game. I'm so excited about it. And for those who do not know, if you were a Kickstarter backer, you of course gained exclusive access to certain things, like physical edition, like your name in the game, stuff like that. And if you backed it enough, you would earn the title of Super Backer and gain access to the exclusive demo. We've been waiting a long time for it, and it is finally here. I got to play it. Sabotage Studio is incredibly awesome and super lenient on what you can show. You're pretty much able to stream the entire thing, cover the entire thing, make a video on the entire thing. So that's what I did. That's what I'm doing. I streamed the entire game. I actually just got done with my stream shortly. The demo was it for the like I'll give like a brief like little crash course on it. It's said to be like take place somewhere in the middle of the game. And I'm going to assume, based off of what I played, because this is the case for most demos, that like the way it works in the demo is probably different from the main game. Like things like the enemies are probably much harder in that area of the game in the final version. You probably don't have access to certain things, or you do maybe to certain things I didn't have, you know, stuff like that. I wouldn't even be surprised if like certain like areas or like optional things were like completely sealed off too. I mean, you know, it would make sense. I don't know for sure. I got that vibe. I mean, certainly. I don't think there's been like any statement on that. It'd be interesting to know like if any of what they showed like in the demo like was kind of a more restricted version. I'm gonna assume for the most part it was. Either way, it's out. It's surprisingly lengthy. I didn't expect to like be playing it for like less than an hour. I expected like less than an hour, right? I mean, the game is pretty far off. It comes out in 2022, and like, you know, I didn't expect too much out of it, but I got a pretty good chunk. I think I took like an hour and 40 minutes to beat it, which is pretty good. And it feels lengthy. It feels like there's a lot there. The demo consists of a outside dungeon, I believe is what they're calling it, a village, and an inside dungeon. The outside dungeon is yeah, it kind of gave me like you know, I hear the word outside dungeon and you kind of think like something like, oh, Skyward Sword, you know, like where like their whole idea was to like turn outside environments to be like dungeons. And it pretty much did that. Like the outside area, the jungle area, I believe it's called Jungle Path. It like there was some heavy exploration, like tiny little like puzzles, like lots of like little areas and nooks and crannies to explore. So it did kind of feel like a dungeon. It was really cool. But with all that being said, really, what are my overall thoughts? Like, obviously, I have been incredibly excited about this game for the build up to it and everything. And I pretty much assumed that it would like totally probably this demo would meet my expectations. There is a disclaimer. It is super early in production, so like, you know, they said like expect like some rough things, maybe some bugs, some dev dust they call it. But I mean, first off, I didn't encounter anything like that. It ran like perfectly smooth. It all seemed pretty solid. There was a slight like kind of beta-ish feel to it, or like alpha-ish feel to it. But I have to say, after what I've played, I was hyped for it, so I wanted to keep my expectations in check. But if what I played, and I think hopefully most will agree with this who have also played the demo, if what I've played only represents like most demos should, if it truly is just like a kind of a bite-sized micro version of what to expect in the full game, then Sea of Stars is going to turn out to be something truly special. Really blown away by the demo. I was kind of giddy the whole time playing it, because it's just, it not only does the game like, I mean, is it just like kind of excellent all around mechanically, like there's so much heart put into it and everything, but for me personally, it just like, it's a lot of like my guilty pleasures and like aesthetic, like favorite aesthetic things, right? Like I love moons and like stars and nighttime aesthetics and stuff like that, and it's got that. I love, huge for me, biggest thing like ever that like really draws me into a game is like atmosphere. It's even more impressive if a two-dimensional game can pull that off, and this does. Like leaves are blowing in the wind, trees are like blowing, enemies are kind of like doing their own thing, like there's like rushing water, and it all just feels like so alive, and like not only alive, but it all comes together in a beautiful like sprite like world, and that gives it kind of that extra like flair and magic to it, you know? Like it's like, oh my god, this is not only like a world that feels like living and breathing and beautiful, it's like it's also like very like video gamey looking, which to me is like a great thing. I love that about it, right? That was probably like one of my favorite things about it, like how just alive it feels. Part of this is because the soundtrack is absolutely amazing. You only get like maybe like 5 tracks, I think, but they're all fantastic. Like the composer is Eric W. Brown. He did The Messenger too. Check out that soundtrack, it's amazing. And it's like, it's all super promising stuff. Kind of has like, for me, it kind of had like a tiny like David Weiss vibe to it, like Donkey Kong Country. It might have been because I was in the jungle level, but like to me, that's like a quick like way to like make something feel super like ambient, you know? And it is, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. The game has dynamic lighting, so like as it was like changing from day to like dusk, there's like this beautiful like darkish orange glow that like it really feels alive, and like just like really pretty and full of atmosphere. That was kind of the thing I was most drawn to from like all the trailers and everything. And yeah, it really is, it's there like completely. The only thing I will say about this demo is like I'm so hyped for this game that like, cause like I don't know, like as hyped, like I haven't been this hyped for a game like this in a long time. So the only thing I will say is I have done a lot of like research on the game. Like I've read all their notes on their Kickstarter and their Discord over and over. I know like the backstory, I know the characters, I know like all the features that are supposed to be there. So the only thing I will say is like, while it was absolutely excellent, it wasn't like super surprising at times, because I was like, oh yeah, I know that's in the game. It's just as good as I expected. Oh yeah, I know that's it's just as good. There were like a couple things that like the battle system, you obviously can't really kind of fully realize until you actually play it. I'll get to that in a second. But then there were like a couple extra things that I don't think were ever actually covered, which were super cool. I don't think they ever like mentioned this, but like one thing that I noticed is like when you're fighting bosses, they like in like full like Monster Hunter style, they like get like fatigued and show that they're like when they're low on health, they show that they're like, you know, like I fought one boss, I forget the name of it. It was a very I think it was like the Kunstesnuke Acolyte, I think. I might, but anyway, you fight it challenging, and like when he's low on health, he's actually like sweating and stuff. That was a nice touch. Love it. Love having that there. It's like a cool way of like kind of raises the stakes a little and makes the battles even more exciting, because like you can't like, I don't think there's like too much of a way to like read their HP aside from this item that they offer. So like it's kind of a good way of like knowing like, oh, I'm close, oh my gosh, I can do this, instead of just like, oh, okay, I guess that was enough damage and I beat it, which happens in some like older RPGs. That was a cool touch. I don't know that like I don't think like anything else like necessarily caught me off guard or anything like that. It ends very very cool and in a very Sabotage way, with a huge teaser. You're literally going in to fight this massive boss that seems way out of your league, and as soon as you attack him, it blinks and the demo ends, which is cool. But I mean, I'm so in love with it. I can't wait to play it more and more. I played it on stream, so I did kind of try to like gun through it a little bit faster so that like the viewers, because I had viewers, so I was like, okay, I don't want to like spend too much time like searching and stuff. They might not find that as exciting. I will be booting it up like right after this again to try to get like all collectibles, fight all enemies. One thing that's cool is like if you do play the demo, the Sabotage Discord reports like through a bot like how fast you beat it, who'd you play as, how many enemies did you beat, how many collectibles did you find. And to my shock, like after playing an hour and 40 minutes, I only had like half the collectibles, so that's awesome. Yeah, I mean it's really really good. The only thing I would say like that you can't like fully gauge from just watching is the battle system. A lot of people are like kind of saying that like the game kind of like, I don't know, like is like, yes, it looks fantastic, but it's like clearly like inspired by a lot of things, and that's true. Like it has timed hits like Mario RPG, but like it really stands on its own. There's some unique stuff, and then there's some like they do some stuff better than I've seen other games do. The timed hits mechanic I love in this game, because like it's not only stuff, it's not just like as simple as like, oh, they're attacking time right to like block. Sometimes an enemy will do a double attack and you have to block once and then block the second hit, and like they're not like equal apart. Like you got like I would constantly get hit by the first hit and then block the second hit. I love this game's timed hits mechanic. There's like enemies that shoot out like 3 different like orb or like little like chunks at you, and you have to like block in perfect rhythm with it. At times it kind of feels like a little bit like rhythmy, and I love that. Oh my god, the timed hits, like if this is like just a little bit of a representation of how that's gonna work, they could like, this could be the game with like the best timed hit system ever. It's like not, it's really not like that simplistic, like just press the button for the timing. Like every enemy has like different timing. It's really really good. My favorite mechanic of the battle system is like, it's kind of really the heart of it, is like as you attack enemies, you generate like, I think they're called spirit orbs that like appear around the enemies, and at any point while you're controlling any of the 2 main characters, you can absorb these spirit orbs on the battlefield to not only like give you a boost in attack, but also make it so that your attacks have like elemental energy behind it, like sun attacks, moon attacks. And that's super helpful because of the lock system, where like an enemy will be charging a spell and they'll have like on the screen like different like little like square things that they call locks, and it'll show you how close that enemy is to casting the spell and how many locks you have to break to cancel the spell. if you break only a couple, the more you break, the less damage the spell does. But if you break all the locks, the spell is canceled entirely. So it's a huge like risk reward, like strategic system. I love it. And it's super fun because it's like, it's sometimes like, okay, should I absorb like some spirit orbs? Should I save? Like, should I wait a little bit? Should I let Valere get it? Should I let Zale get it? Like, cause like each enemy, like the locks are different. There's some locks that can only be broken through like physical attacks, and then some through like sun attacks, moon attacks. And so you can do things like absorb the spirit orbs, and then, oh, I do not only a regular attack, but also a sun attack. It's kind of confusing to explain, but it's like, it's super fun, super like what I would say like is risk reward. I was actually really blown away by some of the items you can find that were really cool. There's actually an item in the demo that kind of turns the game into like a hard mode almost. Like you turn into a glass cannon. You have way less HP, but you do way more damage if you time it right. And you block way more if you time it right. Super cool. I'm totally going to do a playthrough of it with that. There's a lot of detail like on display here. Like, most of what I traversed was pretty, like, simplistic. Like, I wouldn't say there was, like, any, like, straight up, like, what I would necessarily call, like, a puzzle. I mean, I hope that, like, they get more complicated. I'm assuming they probably will. But still some cool little environmental, like, semi-puzzles, you know? Like, it feels really interactive. The platforming is so much fun. This game is fluid. Like the movement... The climbing, it's all so like smooth, and it's great. It's Polish is the name of the game, and that's impressive for like, you know, a demo that's like so early in development. Like, you know, I can't like say necessarily like specifically like where it is or anything, like how far along it is or anything, but like this is super impressive so far, and it's super early. Do I have like any complaints? I don't want to act like it's 100% like perfect and it's like a demo, so like why would it be? Like, of course there's going to be a few little things. At times it feels a little like maybe like bare bones in terms of like, especially the way like kind of NPCs were talking. That's like one of the only complaints I had, is sometimes they didn't say like things that were all that interesting. It was like some of them had like one line, and like it didn't like seem to have much like relevance or anything. It's not a huge deal, honestly. Like games like do that all the time, and it's entirely possible that they're like hiding some like maybe the lines will change by the time like it comes out, or like maybe they're just hiding stuff. I mean, they clearly like, there literally are moments where they say like a big spoiler thing, and the game like will literally fill it in with redacted for spoilers. So that's like obvious. They're definitely hiding some stuff here, which is very promising. If like if like, you know, I want that worry to subside. I can't think of much else. I guess there were like the two main characters, I'll say, you don't get to spend much time with them, so it's not like I have like a good idea for sure, but they seemed very main character-esque in terms of like, yeah, these are definitely like maybe like the quote-unquote avatar characters. They didn't seem to have like as much of like a differing personality, slightly, like, but I know the game is also going to have 4 other party members, and they could be the ones who fill that space, because these are clearly the two main characters, the characters you control. So maybe they're supposed to be more like blank slates. Personally, I've never been a fan of that. I like characters that are like fully like fleshed out, even if they are like your avatar character. But it's not like too bad. There's some cute little moments. I just hope that upon release that like they show like a bit more, not just like personality, because they show that, but like that they seem like more different from each other. Like, I know that on like, I think the Kickstarter, they mentioned like some brief like personality traits about the girl Valere and the boy Zale, and like hopefully a little bit more of that shines out like in the full game. Like actually like you get to see kind of like the difference between the two. There's a little bit of that, but I would have liked a little more. But aside from that, like I had one battle that one boss battle that dragged a bit, but my theory is that like it's just because I hadn't learned the battle system yet, because once I did, some really satisfying stuff happened where I could like wipe out like entire like waves of enemies in one hit. So like, I mean, it's really like one of those games. It's really looking like one of those games where how fast it goes depends on how much you want to like pay attention, strategize, and play the game for like really like it's which is to my mind good design. Like how good you are is gonna make the battles faster and stuff like that. And just like, yeah, I mean, I don't know like too much else to say. It's super promising. I'm gonna be playing the demo again. It's available for a month for demo people. I'm gonna be streaming it again. I'm gonna be trying to find everything I can, playing it over and over and over because it's so fun. I'm so in love with this world so far. It's so alive. The music is so wonderful. Combat is super fun. Everything about this is so solid. But like what truly makes me like really blown away with like this whole game is just like how the whole package comes together to feel so detailed. There's so much heart put into this game. You play it and it's like, oh my god, they really care about what they're making here. Like it is so so apparent. Like it's a wonderful experience so far. I'm really like almost bummed I played this demo, because now like I like, oh my god, now I can't even take the weight anymore. Like before it was like, oh my god, I can survive, I just gotta make it to the demo. And now it's like, oh my god, it's like so wonderful that I played that, but at the same time I need to play the full game. Like I can't stress this enough. Like if like this is just like a small portion of what the game, and I don't just mean that in like terms of like how long it is, but like you know, like things you can do, things you can find, like then oh my god, this game's gonna be absolutely incredible. I'm so looking forward to it. I can't wait to cover it more and more. Thank you so much, Sabotage, for the chance to play this. I hope other people who are who have access to it have enjoyed it too. I'll be happy to stream it more for like people who want to see it. You can still support the game on backer kits. I think that's the website, like backer kits. You can even still like gain access to things like the physical edition and the vinyl soundtrack record. You can join their Discord. Highly recommend it. They're so nice and so helpful. It's a really lovely community. And yeah, I'm not sure like what else to say. I maybe I'll do like a second video like examining even more of it, because I've only played it once so far, but I'm really pleased and super excited. I can safely say that everything I was thinking about this game, like everything I was looking at from their trailers and their their description, everything that I was seeing in that and thinking, oh god, that would be so great if it really is that. Oh, it really is that good. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. It really, yeah, it's everything it's promising to be. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Can't wait to have more on the game. I'm gonna go play the demo again. Bye everybody.